Okay, now that we've reviewed our warm and cool colors and we've learned a little bit about seascapes, it's time to begin our project for this week. So what we are going to be creating is a seascape, which, like we learned, is a picture of the water with sometimes a sailboat or a lighthouse. Our picture has a little sailboat. And our seascape is going to be done in these colors, blue, green, and purple, which are the cool colors. So we're going to be creating a cool colored seascape. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to start with the water. Now, the ocean is pretty deep, right? So we want to make our ocean look really, really deep. So to make it look, we're going to start with our paper going tall today. Okay, so it's going to be portrait, not landscape long. Portrait tall. So make sure your paper is nice and tall. And we are going to make our water really deep. So the top of our water is going to be up here near the top of our paper. And then we need to make sure we leave room for our little sailboat up here. Okay, so make our waves. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to find the middle of our paper up here near the top, and we're going to make a dot. So you want it all the way up near the top. Make sure you leave room for your sailboat, and make a dot right in the middle. Okay? Now, from my dot to the edge of my paper, okay, I'm just put your fingers where I've got my fingers. One finger on your dot, one finger on the edge of your paper. And now you're going to find the middle between those points. Okay? So I'm going to come in between and I'm going to make another dot. So I've got two dots so far. One right in the middle, and then halfway between this dot and the edge. Okay, now I'm going to move my fingers, and I'm going to put one finger on my first dot in the middle and one finger over here on the edge of my paper. So get yours where mine are. One on your dot, one on the edge of your paper. And then we're going to find the middle of these 2 points. Okay, so about right here. And I'm going to make another dot. So now I have 3 dots. 1, 2, 3. Now to make my waves, here's what I'm going to do. From my first dot to my second, I'm going to make a smiley face. Just a little smiley face. And then from this dot to the edge of my paper, I make another smiley face. And now I've made a wave, haven't I? Made a little wave. So now from my middle dot to my next dot, I'm going to make another smiley face. And then from my dot to the edge of paper, one more smiley face. And now I've got my waves. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make my different sections. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different sections here. Okay, 5 different sections. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down just a little bit. Okay, just about maybe 2 inches. If I'm looking at a marker, it's about a little bit longer than a cap. Okay, if I'm using my marker as a measuring, it's about a little bit further, probably down to that first little squiggly line, and I'm going to make a dot. So if you want to get a marker out and measure this from the top of your wave down to about the squiggly line there, I'm going to make a dot. And then I come down, and we'll do the same thing. Line up the top of my cap with my dot, and I'm going to come down to that squiggly line and make another dot. So I've got 1, 2, I need to make 3 more sections. So again, I'm going to put the top of my cap at my dot, come down to the squiggly, and make a dot. And then one more time from the top of my cap to my squiggly. Okay? Then I can put that marker back up. Okay? So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. Okay, so I've got how many dots over here? 1, 2, 3, 4 dots. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw just a wavy line. It's going to go up and then down. Or actually this one goes up, down, and then up. Doesn't matter. Just a squiggly line. I'm just going to draw just a wavy line to make it look interesting. And then from this dot, again, I'm going to draw another wavy line. And I don't want it to look exactly like the one above it. I want it to look a little bit different. That's going to make my different layers of my ocean look pretty cool. And this one, I'm going to add a couple waves to it just to make it look interesting. There's no wrong way to make your little wavy lines. And as you can see, I didn't make them look exactly like the ones I already made over here, because that's fine. It's fine. It doesn't have to look exactly the same. So get your 4 lines drawn. We've got our waves at the top, and then we've got our 4 lines. And then once we have our 5 different sections, we're going to go through and add the designs into our picture. So the first one, we're not going to do it exactly the way I've got in my example, because this one was a little bit hard. So we're going to make it a little bit simpler. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start up here at my dot. I'm going to start at this first dot, and I'm going to draw a curved line down to the line below it, and we'll draw another curved line down to below it. So it's like an upside down V, or the top of a triangle. And we'll do the same thing for this dot. Curve down, curve it down, upside down V, top of a triangle. And then one more dot. Curve it down, curve it down. And this is all we're going to do for this one. We're not going to make it as complicated as that one. We're just going to draw the tops of the triangles or some upside down V's. And our first section is done, and we're ready to move on to our second section. So take another couple seconds and finish this one up, and then we're going to move on to this one. Okay, now this one, all we're doing is drawing the letter S. So I'm going to draw from this section to this section, and I'm just going to draw the letter S. And then I'm going to come over a little bit and draw another one. And I'm going to go backwards. And I'm just going to keep adding some S's. Some little S's, some big S's. And I'm only going to put a few. I only did 6, just a few. Just draw the letter S from top to bottom. Letter S. Just take another couple seconds to finish up, and then we're going to move on to our next design. Okay, now the next design we're going to do are the spiral lines. Okay, we've got these spiral lines that kind of look like a snail shell or a pinwheel. Okay, so to draw this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here in the middle of my space, and I'm going to start drawing like a circle, but I don't ever let the circle connect. I just keep making it bigger until I run out of room. So you try it. Start in the middle and draw like you're making a circle, but just make your circle bigger and bigger and bigger until you run out of room to make your circle. And I'm going to come over again and leave some space between this one. Don't start this one over here because you'll run out of space really soon. So I'm going to come over a little bit and again start like I'm making a circle, and I'm going to keep going until I run out of space. Over again, start in the middle, draw like I'm making a circle, keep making it bigger until I run out of space. I think I've got room for one more, and then I'm done. So you fill up your space. This one I only have 4, but that's fine. I don't need a lot. I got 5 in on this one. I did 4 on this one. How many you can fit in there. Do your spirals. Take another couple minutes or a couple seconds and finish up your spirals, your pinwheel snail shells. And then we're going to go on to our next design. Okay. The next section, we're going to draw another, but this one is going to be the letter U. So I'm just going to draw a letter U, and just like I did my S, it's going to go from the top down to the bottom and back up, and then my next one is going to start in the same spot my other one did. They're going to be right beside each other, and I'm just drawing the letter U all through my space here. Okay, and then once I've gone all the way to one side, I can go back and draw the letter U towards the other side of my paper. I'm just going to fill in the whole space with letter U's. Take another couple seconds and get this finished. We're going to move on to our next design, the last one we're going to do. In our last section, we've got all of these different circles. Now, you could imagine that these are pebbles on the bottom of the ocean floor, or maybe they're bubbles and the ocean keeps going deeper and deeper that we just can't see. We just kind of have to use our imagination. We don't know what these are, but it's just a cool design. So what we're going to do to create this is we have to start with the big circles. If you guys remember, we did something like this when we did our color wheel turtles a while back. We added this one to, I believe it was the orange section. We added all the polka dots. We start with the big circles first. So I'm going to draw some big circles. And again, look how big that circle is. My entire thumb fits in it with lots of room, okay? So if you take your finger, make like the OK symbol, see how big that circle is? That's about how big you want your circles to be. Okay? Big circles. Big circles. Try to make them nice and round. We're drawing a lot of circles this year. So we're practicing making our circles nice and round. And now my circles are going to have to start getting a little bit smaller to fit in the spaces in between, because I'm still making my circles. I got my big ones. Now I've done some medium-sized ones. And now they're going to have to get a little bit smaller to fit in the rest of my spaces. And then if I want to, I can make some even smaller circles to fill up the rest of the space. Got smaller circles. Now remember, every circle I make, I have to outline with a marker. So keep that in mind while you're making your circles, because if you make too many, you're going to be outlining them forever. So don't make too many, but just enough that you got some different sizes, some big, some medium, and some small, just to make it look interesting. Okay, and now once we all of our designs for our 5 different sections done, we're going to go back and do our sailboat. So if you did not get finished with any one of your sections, I'm going to give you guys just a few seconds to go back and finish those up before we start our sailboat. So just take a few seconds, and then we're going to go back and draw our sailboat. Okay, now to do our sailboat, what we're going to do is we've got that dot we made right here in the middle. Okay, so we're going to go back 1 dot. So we're going to draw our sailboat right here. Now, if you draw your sailboat here or here or here, is it wrong? No, I'm just showing you right here. Okay, so if you accidentally put it on the wrong wave, it's not really wrong, it's just on a different wave. But I'm going to show you putting it right here. So we're going to start with a smiley face, which actually, you know what? I'm going to trade my Sharpie to a different color so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to do this one in orange. Okay, so I drew my smiley face and draw a line over top of it. So it's a half circle. Half circle. And then I'm going to draw a vertical line. And on top of my vertical line, I'm going to make a circle. Did a smiley face, straight line across, vertical line up, and a circle. Now to do the sail, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a triangle over here, a sideways V. Just going to make a triangle. So I'm going to start down here. I'm going to start up here at the top, and I'm going to make a diagonal line, and then I'm going to make a horizontal line back. And now I have a sailboat. So get your sailboat drawn, and then that's all we need our pencil for. So you can put your pencil up, and we are going to start with our sailboat. So get out your red marker, and we're going to outline the boat in red. Outline your boat with your red marker, and then you snap that cap. Put your red marker up, and then we need our red crayon, and we're going to color in our sailboat. And then once I'm done, I put my red crayon up, and I get my black marker. Black marker. And then we're going to outline that vertical line, outline the circle, and then we're going to outline the sail. But we're not going to color it in. We want our sail to be white. And then when I'm done, I snap that cap, put that up, and now we're ready to do the design of our water. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to outline everything in our marker, and then we're going to go back and color it. So we want to start with our blue marker. So start with your blue marker, and we're going to start by outlining the waves at the top. So we're going to do the waves. And remember, outlining, we're just tracing over those pencil lines. And then we're going to do these upside down V's or tops of triangles that we drew. And then once you've done that, you can snap that cap and put your blue marker up. And then the next color we'll need is green. So get your blue finished and then get out your green marker. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to outline that line above our S's. So I'm going to take my green and I'm just going to go right along that line above our S's. And then I need to go back and I need to do each of my S's with my green marker. Each S is going to be green. So once you're done with your S's, snap that cap, put your green marker up, and get out your purple marker. Purple marker will be next. Okay, so again, I'm going to start with the line above my pinwheels. Outline it with green, or purple rather, sorry, I've got a purple marker. Outline it purple, and then I'm going to do each of my spirals in purple. And then when I'm done with my purple, I snap that cap, put that one up, and I'm going back to blue. So finish up your spirals, and then get out your blue marker. Okay, first thing we do is the line above our U's. Line above our U's is going to be purple or blue. I keep saying the wrong color. I'm looking at the color above and not the one that's in my hand. Ooh. Okay, then I'm going to go back and I'm going to outline all of my U's. Now, if you're working faster than me, that's fine. If you're working slower than me, that's fine. That's why I always have the example over here. That way, if you are a little bit ahead or a little bit behind, you can always look at the example and you'll know what one next. So once I finish my U's, I snap that cap, put my blue marker up, and then my last marker is green again. Last marker is green. And again,
Please pardon interruption. The light blue Subaru on the gravel lot at the parking lot needs to be moved. It is blocking the playground. Again, the light blue Subaru on the gravel at the parking lot at the playground needs to be moved. Move it at this time, please. Thank you.
okay, so what we're going to do is you are going to outline above your pebbles or your bubbles with a green marker. I got it right this time. I was paying attention. And then I've got to do every one of my dots down here. Outline every single one. Now, am I coloring them in? Nope. You can see from my example, I colored them in with a crayon. I did not color them in with a marker. So I'm outlining my dots just like we did our rainbow tree for dot day, and the dots on the section of our color wheel turtle, we're just outlining them. I'm going to outline all my dots. And then once I'm done, as always, snap that cap, and then I'm ready to color. So now, coloring is going to be pretty easy. If I outlined with a blue marker, I'm coloring with a blue crayon. If I outline green marker, I'm coloring with a green crayon. Purple marker, purple crayon. Blue marker, blue crayon. Green marker, green crayon. Okay? So, I'm not going to sit here and color all this in because you guys have got this from here. So, I'm going to go ahead and end my video, and you guys can spend the rest of class today coloring in your sections blue, green, purple, blue, and green. So, finish coloring your cool colored seascape. Remember, cool colors are blue, green, and purple, also called violet. And a seascape is a picture of the sea or the ocean. So, finish up your coloring, and I hope you guys had fun. And until next time.